Thank you, Ollie. A very good evening, everybody. Manchester United fans have come to the home of Pilsner to drown their sorrows after a woeful season so far. Ruben Amorim's hopes of a champagne start to life in the Old Trafford dugout have gone flat with those two successive Premier League defeats. He never before in his managerial career lost 3 in a row. Amorim is desperate to avoid that and desperate for a victory tonight to get his recently inherited team back on course for a top 8 finish to ensure their chances of going straight into the round of 16 are beer today, gone tomorrow. Scott Minto, this is a huge night, isn't it, for Manchester United?
I'm still recovering from that joke, Cookie. No, it is massive. We look at the table, and this is where it's like the business end of the league table, isn't it? If they were to lose this and other teams win, then suddenly they've probably got to win their final 2 games, as simple as that. Whereas if they get that win, they can get towards that top 8, then they can just manage it. And there's no doubt about it from a playing point of view. You are thinking with such a big game of the weekend, just a little bit ahead. But right now, in these conditions, the way that Pilsen play at home, how difficult they are to beat, this is a very, very tough one. And if it's too much thinking of City ahead, then they will get hurt tonight.
-1 in Pilsen tonight, according to some TalkSport pundits. Marcus Rashford should be given the cold shoulder by Manchester United. He comes back into the team amongst 5 changes from that defeat in the Premier League at home to Forest on Saturday. Mazraoui, Casemiro, Malacia and Xerxes also reinstated as the Manchester United players gather in a pre-match huddle. They'll be lining up with Onana in goal, keen no doubt to bounce back from his blunder at the weekend. Mazraoui, De Ligt and Martinez in the back 3. Dalot and Malacia, the 2 wing-backs. Fernandes dropped into midfield alongside Casemiro. And then it's Ahmad, Rashford and Xerxes in attack. As for Pilsen, one name you'll be familiar with, Premier League fans, Mate Vidra, once of Watford and Burnley, is part of their starting 11. And it is Manchester United, all in white, shooting from left to right in this first half, who get us off and underway. And a big night of European action across the TalkSport network. We've got Rangers against Tottenham, that Battle of Britain, over on TalkSport later on this evening. Already Chelsea comfortable winners in their Conference League game away from home in Astana. Can United get those 3 points on the board? It's Xerxes who gets us off and underway. Job number 1 as ever away from home in Europe will be to silence a vociferous home crowd. They've been so excited in Pilsen about the visit of United. They've even made a special edition beer. The mayor was on hand to greet the team. They had a police escort from their hotel, despite the fact they're only staying 300 yards down the road. Manchester United, despite all their recent travails, they are still one of the biggest draws in European football. De Ligt out to Martinez. One of the big criticisms, Scott, of this back 3 so far is that they don't move the ball quickly enough. Will that be something that Amorim will be urging them to change this evening?
Yeah, I think so. I think certainly in the medium to long term. I think tonight, where you touched on it, you quieten the crowd. Very, very loud here. Difficult conditions. It is cold. What they want to try and do, obviously, ideally, is to try and get the early goal. But even if they can't do that, just pass the ball and keep the ball and get this crowd to be coming down a decibel or 2. Because, as I say, if they were able to get the first goal, Pilsen, then they will certainly be a very difficult team to beat.
Diego Dalot taking a throw deep inside the Manchester United half of the field. It's over the head of Marcus Rashford, and collected on the edge of the Pilsen penalty area by their goalkeeper Martin Jedlicka. He takes his time, rolls his studs over the top of the ball and then plays it diagonally out to this near left-hand side as we look. Mazraoui into the challenge and Ahmad comes away with the ball for Manchester United, finds his captain Fernandes. And then Tyrell Malacia, who's played very little football, none at all last season, switches the play to this right touchline again, and Mazraoui. Ahmad dropping deepest into midfield and then trying to pick out Malacia on the far side, but it was a careless pass which is easily intercepted. Fernandes lets the ball go over his head, and Vidra, the former Watford man, just rolls it forward. One back in midfield by Fernandes. No real pattern to the game as yet. Possession changing hands at rapid pace. Martinez, the Argentine World Cup winner, tries to change that, plays it back to Matthijs de Ligt on the edge of the United penalty area, away to our left. Now Xerxes, that afro hair dropped into midfield. Rashford hugging the left touchline, wearing gloves on a frosty evening into the feet of Ahmad. Beat one Pilsen defender, couldn't beat the second. And then a foul conceded by Martinez on Vidra right on the edge of the centre circle, and it's a free kick for the host. 0-0.
It's interesting watching Xerxes come off. He's a different type of player to Højlund, isn't he? Who I think likes to get the ball in behind and run onto it, use his pace. Xerxes not as quick. So if he is going to be dropping off, it's really important that Rashford or Ahmed are the ones who are getting in behind there. I'm really looking forward to seeing Ahmed playing inside and see if he can get on the ball and be that number 10 alongside Marcus Rashford to really make the difference, rather than be out on the wing as the wing back and wait for the ball to come to you. He's been very good already, you know, he's very, very sharp, there's no doubt about that, but I think this would be his favourite position.
He had a good night, didn't he, earlier in the campaign in this competition. 2 goals against PAOK when Ruud van Nistelrooy was in charge. Amad Diallo in talks with United about extending his contract, seen very much as a key part of the Ruben Amorim rebuild, the latest rebuild that United have undergone in recent years. Here's Rashford. That's a poor touch from him. Cheaply gives the ball away in the Pilsen right back position, and then Bruno Fernandes steps in and pokes it back to Martinez to ensure that not much damage is done.
I think it just shows the lack of form really that Rashford's in. It's not as if he wasn't trying there. He's looking up, he's seeing what's around, but when things are going, you can have your head up and you know exactly how to touch the ball, and there he had his head up and it was a terrible touch really, wasn't it, giving the ball away.
The ball back on halfway with Martinez. 0-0. You're listening to TalkSport 2 on this busy European night. Busy week it's been, hasn't it? Brought you Manchester City's defeat in Turin last night, Arsenal's comfortable home win over Monaco. We were with Aston Villa in Leipzig. Gabi Agbonlahor enjoying his travels on Tuesday evening.
Did he get his suitcase back, by the way?
I didn't know he lost it.
Yeah, he lost it, yeah. He wasn't having British Airways at all.
You can imagine he told the airport staff they were miles off it when that went missing. Here's Onana, rolls the ball out to Mazraoui, the Moroccan international, on the edge of the United area. It's all very one-paced at the moment. Casemiro forward to Xerxes. Good touch from him. Gets away from his man, Joshua Xerxes, and races towards the penalty area. He's still going here, Xerxes. Can he get a shot away? This would be a magnificent goal. In the end, he tried to cut the ball back for Marcus Rashford, and sliding in to turn it behind for a corner was Samson Duet. Brilliant feat from Xerxes. I'm not sure he knew completely what he was doing, but it almost paid off.
It was an incredible run. You know, I talked about how he hasn't got the pace of Højlund, and yet he somehow kind of bounced his way through 3 or 4 players. Showed great composure at the end, but just by going past the last defender, took himself away from goal, really. As he tried to play the ball in, it was well defended from Pilsen, but a good run from him.
6 minutes play. Pilsen 0, Manchester United 0 in the Europa League. Amad Diallo about to take the game's first corner from this near right-hand side. The referee just delaying it being taken. Dallo and De Ligt amongst the United defenders who've been summoned forward. They've made a habit of conceding from set pieces in the past couple of matches. Could they potentially profit from one here? Diallo in the pink footwear puts his right arm in the air and plays it in left-footed. That's a woeful delivery, cleared at the near post. Out for a Manchester United throw on this near touchline. It stays goalless.
Well, say what you want to say about Arsenal and the set pieces. They've shown how crucial that they can be. And when you get that chance to put the ball in the right place, you've got to beat the first man. That was a really poor corner.
United dominating possession, not carving out too many chances of note so far. Andre Onana, all in yellow, has come a long way off his line to get involved in the play. He's picked up the ball now inside the D on the edge of the penalty area and plays it out to the right hand side of Mazraoui. Low ball into Amad Diallo. He was upended by the Pilsen captain Lucas Kalvac, and it's a free kick for United just inside their own half. This game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football, and that's cheaply given away by Joshua Xerxes. Pilsen will come forward with Lucas serve. He's upended. A free kick here, maybe within shooting range. Not for the first time tonight. Manchester United guilty of not looking after the ball properly, and Bruno Fernandes, in trying to stop the quick counter, slides in and probably is fortunate to escape a booking.
I was just about to say, he's very lucky not to get a yellow card there. He's nowhere near the ball at all, and he's just stopped an attack, and I think he knew. He looked at the referee to see if a card would come out. It didn't, but it was a really poor pass from Xerxes first of all. you've got to look after you. Again, and we talk about that number 9. It's such a key position, especially for a club like Manchester United. If you're going to be the lone striker, you need to be able to hold the ball up and not give the ball away. That's exactly what he did. And now, I'll say they're in a really dangerous position, but a chance to stick the ball into the box.
Yeah, he's too far out for a shot. And about midway inside the United half, just to the right of centre. Kovac, the captain, is going to chip it into the penalty area. Now, has come a long way and he's missed it. I think he may even have collided with his own man, Casemiro. It came off a Pilsen head, but no real power on it. But once again, Andre Onana there, leaving his goal line, and Casemiro looks at a lot of discomfort, Scott Minto.
Yeah, the players are going to him, and he's just sort of saying, just leave me alone. But it was a difficult ball. I'm sure it would have been offside.
Absolutely kiboshed him, hasn't he, Casemiro, as he Onana, as he came flying out there.
Do you know what, though, Cookie? I don't mind that. I don't mind you coming out and get your own, even if you get your own player, but you've got to make sure you get the ball. You know, you want your goalkeeper to be so commanding that sometimes, you know, this type of thing can happen. Very brave from Casemiro. We know he's actually good in the air, isn't he, and can score goals with his head. Obviously trying to help out his team here. I don't mind a goalkeeper just basically coming through and scaring everybody, but you've got to get the ball, and you didn't.
Casemiro down, receiving treatment, so an opportunity for me to tell you about some of the live football we've got coming your way over the next few days. Over on Talk Sport at 8 o'clock this evening, Rangers against Tottenham. Ange Postecoglou guaranteed of a hot reception. The former Celtic manager taking his Spurs side to Ibrox tomorrow night. Here on Talk Sport 2, we've got Derby against Portsmouth in the Championship. That's also an 8 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. Live on Talk Sport, Preston against Leeds from the Championship on 12:30 here on Talk Sport 2. We have Coventry Hull, 3 o'clock on Talk Sport 2. Our live and exclusive Premier League offering is Arsenal against Everton. 10 minutes gone here, 0-0 between Pilsen and Manchester United. Casemiro able to continue as a cross is played in from the left into the Manchester United area, and Xerxes trying to pass his way out, has only given possession back to the home team. Here is Czech Soare coming down the left-hand side, and Mazraoui with no choice but to just run the ball out for a throw, level with his own penalty area.
The thing is, these are difficult conditions, not necessarily because it's cold, although that can add to it, but the pitch is quite bobbly, so if you want to play that passing out from the back, the passes have to be absolutely spot on. We've already seen Xerxes give the ball away, where Bruno Fernandes was lucky not to get a yellow card. So again, it's one of those nights where you've got to play to the conditions. If it's on, play it, but if it's not, make sure you don't make a mistake.
Pilsen manager Miroslav Kubek just come out to issue some instructions. He admitted yesterday he's a boyhood Manchester United fan, used to idolise Wayne Rooney. So a big night for him as well, as a long throw comes into the Manchester United area. Onana comes and only half punches it clear again. Very unconvincing from the goalkeeper, and it's left to Malacia to volley it clear left-footed. It's been a difficult start to the evening for Onana, fresh from that mistake at the weekend, and Pilsen coming forward again. Cross from the right-hand side, cleared by Martinez, and then Bruno Fernandes just lays it off to Malacia. Can't get out here, Manchester United. I guess the team's second in the Czech league. Deep cross into their penalty area. Dalot lets it sail over his head, brings it down in the right-back position, and then exchanges passes with Mazraoui. Dalot with a left-footed ball into midfield. Better there from United. Fernandes is going to try and play it long, looking for the pace of Rashford, intercepted by the Pilsen captain Kovac, and they're back in possession down the left-hand side with Soare. He goes long upfield. Mazraoui's going to have to deal with that aerial ball, plays it down the right wing to Dalot. Dalot back in field to Mazraoui once more. They're hunting impacts here, the Pilsen players, every time a Manchester United player is in possession. There's a red shirt in very close proximity.
Good ball though from Dalot, wasn't it? Just inside to Bruno Fernandes, was able to turn on it, and he was trying to play that ball over the top, which if it had made it, Marcus Rashford would have been chasing him through on goal as well. When Xerxes just drops in, as I say, either Rashford or Ahmed need to try and go in behind, and I actually think Xerxes is more of a number 10 than a number 9, and can do well in this position, but there's a lot of number 10s that Manchester United have potentially.
Dalot forward to Xerxes, holds it up neatly under pressure, tries to roll it forward for Ahmad, didn't quite find him. Fernandes keeps United on the front foot. Ahmad forward to the Portuguese. Fernandes with a pullback, cleared away on the edge of the 6-yard box, but that was a decent attack, and then Dalot in trying to win the ball back. He's just caught Suarez with the elbow. It's going to be a free kick for Pilsen in their left-back position. It stays goalless. We played 13 minutes.
Yeah, I wonder whether the referee's assistant has given it for a goal kick because the ball went out. And why didn't he just do that straight away? But look, it's been a decent start from United. First of all, they haven't conceded. Second of all, they have had most of the possession. They haven't created too many chances, but they've been the better of the two sides so far. As I say, it is only just coming up to 15 minutes on the clock, but so far so good.
Ball played forward by the Pilsen goalkeeper Jedlicka. Run back by Casemiro, has been dragged to the ground. So it's a free kick for Manchester United, just on the edge of the centre circle. Casemiro doesn't seem to be feeling any ill effects to that challenge from his own goalkeeper Onana that left him down in a heap inside the area. The 5 times Champions League winner. Did once score here actually in a 5-1 victory for Real Madrid in that competition, Casemiro. He is Matthijs de Ligt, the youngest player ever to play in a Europa League final, part of the Ajax side beaten by Jose Mourinho's Manchester United back in 2017. He plays the ball forward looking for Dalot, well defended by Suarez, slides in and clears the ball for a throw.
I think it shows what the pitch is like though, doesn't it? He slides in there first and it's could easily have done his knee and twisted his knee. The pitch is completely dug up.
Yeah, not easy conditions at all. Coming away in Europe this time of year often has its own challenges. That's better from Rashford, cutting in field and then just chipping a ball out to this right-hand side, and Dalot midway inside the Pilsen half, back to Casemiro in the central midfield position, now de Ligt inside the centre circle. Plays it forward to Bruno Fernandes. 15 gone. Pilsen 0, Manchester United 0. Here on TalkSport 2. Amad Diallo confidently sprays the ball out to the left-hand side to Martinez. Quite a few of the United players, Martinez included, wearing gloves tonight. Here is Rashford, attacking down the left-hand side, cuts inside on his right foot, finds Malacia, can't backheel the ball back to Rashford, so Pilsen will clear it away. Martinez should win it back for Manchester United, and it's played against Bruno Fernandes, out for a throw, and the captain shows his frustration.
Yeah, just a little bit scrappy the game at the moment, isn't it? You see United trying to get on the ball, but not able to really get some passes going. And again, it is down to the pitch. But with Pilsen being so strong at home, I think Ruben Amorim would be pretty happy with what's happened so far. Just can they convert this possession into chances and then chances into a goal?
They don't usually have problems scoring away from home in Europe, Manchester United. It's defending a lead. Even if you go back to their ill-fated Champions League campaign last season, they scored plenty of goals on the road, but really struggled to win. Ended up finishing bottom of a group that included Copenhagen, which in itself is an achievement. And despite their struggles in the Premier League this season, their worst ever start in that competition, they are unbeaten in all 8 of the cup games they've played. They've got a quarter-final in the EFL Cup against Tottenham live on TalkSport next Thursday, and if they win this one with a home game against Rangers and then a trip to Bucharest to come, you would fancy them to cement themselves in the top 8 and salvage something from their early season woes. Here's Onana. He's played his clearance straight against Vachelin. Could have gone anywhere off the Pilsen striker, and it bounces harmlessly wide to this left-hand side, but another nervy moment for Andre Onana. Doesn't look at all comfortable, the Manchester United goalkeeper, as Mazraoui wins it back inside the penalty area and then gives it away on the edge of the box. Sliding in there was Casemiro to win it back, and then it's a drilled shot high over Onana's crossbar from Lucas Serve in midfield. 0-0.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely suffering in confidence, isn't he, the United keeper? Trying to get the ball, trying to act as if he's cool. But Vachelin very nearly got in. If he had done it, would have been a simple tap-in, open goal.
I did wonder when I was planning for this game tonight if it might be the opportunity for outside Bayındır, the 6'6" Turkish international. It's been limited to just 2 League Cup appearances so far this season, but with that mistake that Onana made at the weekend, I know he's rated highly Bayındır. I wondered if it might be an opportunity to throw him in, but Onana keeps his place And he has made a nervy start to the game. 18 on the clock, 0-0. In Plzeň, around about 48 miles from Prague. Here's Xerxes, left edge of the penalty area. Couldn't get the ball out under his start, and it's cleared away by the goalkeeper Jedlicka once more, and picked up on halfway by Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt will go back to Onana. Wearing those blue boots, the Cameroonian. He plays it out to the edge of the penalty area, and Mazraoui. It's all a bit tentative, a bit safe from Manchester United at this moment in time. Not really what many of these travelling fans have grown up watching.
No, but it's not an easy place to come, Cuckoo. We've already talked about that, and this is far from the United side that the United fans, yourself included, grown up watching. It's okay, so far so good.
Here's Rashford. Infield to Bruno Fernandes, slightly behind the captain, but he keeps possession. Rashford wants it back to his left-hand side. Fernandes goes short to Casemiro, who backheels it into Rashford. Xerxes wanted Rashford to continue his run. He played the first time pass. Rashford had stopped, and that allowed Plzeň to get it clear. Back with Martinez now, just inside the Plzeň half. 19 on the clock, and it's 0-0. Here's Tyrell Malacia, raiding down the left, coming in field, finding Casemiro, around about 15 yards from goal. Decent ball out to Dalot. Dalot heads it towards the penalty spot. Xerxes couldn't get there, ahead of Václav Jamelka. And now Mazraoui back to Casemiro once more. United trying to move the ball a little bit quicker in the last 60 seconds or so. Back to de Ligt though. They're going to build again from the heart of that three-man defence that Amorim has made his trademark. Brought him so much success in Portugal. And here is the Argentine Martinez once more, well over the halfway line, forward to Malacia. A little step over from Rashford because he got the shout from Xerxes, but the captain Kalvac wins it back only momentarily. Martinez quickly regains possession for Manchester United.
I think it's one of those games where, as much as you want to see United so much on top and creating chances, again, we talked about the conditions, the weather, we've talked about the pitch, we've talked about how difficult they are to beat in this place, Plzeň. You know, I'm sure United fans will take a very scrappy 1-0 win, and what I would say, without them creating too many chances, is they are dominating the ball at the moment, and that's what they want to do.
It's a very different opening 20 minutes to that harum-scarum game against Bodo Glimt, Amorim's first European game as United manager. They won 3-2 in the end, but gave up plenty of chances.
Let me tell you, Bodo Glimt at home are a very good side as well, so if that had been United going there, I wouldn't have fancied them. So to play at Old Trafford, I think has done them a real favour. Now, in a difficult place again, you know, can they find a way to win? As I say, they're dominating the ball at the moment and possession without creating too many chances, but this is what we can hope for at the moment.
I think it's helpful as well. That game against Rangers in a few weeks' time is also at Old Trafford. Even though they're not going great guns domestically, Ibrox on a big European night, as Tottenham will probably find out later on TalkSport, is not an easy assignment.
Absolutely.
Onana forward to Xerxes, poor touch from him, and it's immediately won back by Jamelka, who plays it back to the edge of his own penalty area in the goalkeeper Jedlicka. 6 clean sheets in 18 games in all competitions this season for him, and he goes long upfield looking for Vidra. Lovely pluck from the sky, and then Vidra into the penalty area, trying to get away from Martinez, cuts the cross back. It's easily dealt with by Casemiro. Now Xerxes trying to hold the ball up, does well. Fernandes forward to Ahmad. He's got Rashford and Fernandes in support. Opts to go to his left and Rashford, but maybe Fernandes was the better option. And then Rashford's attempt at a cross is absolutely terrible. Lashes it over the crossbar, looks at the ground in frustration, but the ball, Scott, should have been out to Fernandes on the right, shouldn't it?
Yes, absolutely. He was in. I mean, first of all, it's really good play from Xerxes. We talked about how important it is to hold the ball up, and he did that. And Ahmed almost just seeing Marcus at the side of his eye, and I don't know if it's one of those, and sometimes you do get it when you come into a side and, you know, you almost look up to someone, you want to give them the ball as much as possible. But definitely Bruno Fernandes was more in if it had looked the other side.
The reaction's telling though, isn't it? As soon as he's made a hash of the cross, he looks down at the pitch, he looks forlorn. Marcus Rashford if you compare that to the Marcus Rashford of old, it was 9 years ago in February that he made his debut in this competition. He scored twice against Midtjylland. He was a fresh-faced kid. He had a big smile on his face. He looked delighted to be playing for Manchester United. Now he looks like he'd rather be anywhere else.
How long do you want to talk about Marcus Rashford for? Because we could talk for hours, couldn't we? You know, I do feel for him to a point. I don't think he's had any good senior pros in the dressing room to really look up to. But at the same time, it's down to him to sort it out.
Here's Ahmad, racing towards the penalty area. Cuts in on his left foot. Can he get a shot away? Deflected. Makes it a little bit awkward for the goalkeeper. But he gets under the ball, Jedlicka, and pats it down and then gathers at the second or third time of asking.
I mean, I played against the likes of Keane, Scholes, Giggs, Beckham, you know, Kanchelskis as well, and Mark Hughes and Cantona. Now, imagine all those in the dressing room, what they would have said to Mark as he was coming through and maybe getting a little bit in the spotlight, you know, making sure that he was absolutely bang on it day after day after day, and he hasn't really had that. So really it's got to come from within now. And he hasn't got too much longer. He's 27 years of age.
He's just giving the ball away again. Marcus Rashford put his team under trouble. Martinez gets there to usher it back to Onana. We played 24 minutes. It's Pilsen 0, Manchester United 0 in the Europa League. You're listening to TalkSport 2 in the company of the former FA Cup winner with Chelsea, Scott Minto, myself, Alex Crook. Here is Bruno Fernandes. Comes raiding down the left for United. He's got Malacia ahead of him. Rashford's come infield. Fernandes with the side forward pass to Casemiro. Now Dalot coming in from the right touchline. He's got Ahmad ahead of him. Ahmad with room to turn 10 yards outside the penalty area, but no real movement from the white shirts around Ahmad, so he comes back for Mazraoui, and then Casemiro puts Fernandes in trouble, and Pilsen have it back with their captain Kalvac, who will come forward. Malacia does well, facing his own goal, regains possession. Malacia making his third start of the Amorim era, had a difficult night against Bodo Glimt in that Europa League game I was talking about, was taken off at half-time, played well at Arsenal, actually, got a yellow card in the first half and again didn't come back out for the second half. I wonder if he might last a bit longer this evening. Brings a bit of natural balance, doesn't he, with Dalot moving across to the right-hand side, Malacia on the left. Still no Luke Shaw in the travelling party due to injury.
Such a key word in a team, balance. It really is, as we saw with England in the Euros. There's no balance there. I just think you've got Dalot on one side, on the right-hand side, Malacia on the left. It does give that balance.
Here's Ahmad. Spreads the play out to the right, and Dalot. Manchester United dominating possession, but still the goalkeeper, Jedlicka, hasn't really had a save to make. Fernandes in the centre of the Viktoria Pilsen half. 0-0 the score on TalkSport 2. De Ligt will bring it forward, the Dutchman. Out to Rashford. First time layoff to Martinez. Everybody in a white shirt over the halfway line. Back with De Ligt, and now Martinez looks up, and these sideways passes across the back three that we saw a lot against Forest at the weekend. Rashford with a little flick, gives it away again in midfield, wins it back to his credit. This time Marcus Rashford, and Ahmad leaves it for Fernandes to come sauntering forward. Bruno Fernandes running towards the penalty area, had options, he ran into trouble, but United still have possession. Ahmad's been pulled over then. Another cheap free kick to concede from Vaclav Jamelka, and an opportunity for the visitors to load up the penalty area. 0-0.
The thing is, I mean, we talked about Rashford just gave the ball away there. There comes a point where, you know, a pass, you've got to try and look forward. And that's what he was trying to do, a little flick that didn't come off. I don't mind that, as long as, you know, you got that kind of protection if Pilsen come on the counter-attack. Bruno Fernandes just tried something similar and gave the ball away. We can't criticise him for trying things, but at the same time he's got to try things at the right time and just show that body language to be spot on.
Fernandes to play in the free kick. Right-footed, Xerxes got something on it. Casemiro stuck out a leg, couldn't get there. It's behind for a goal kick. Xerxes looks up to the heavens. Maybe could have made a cleaner connection on the header. Maybe Casemiro should have gambled a bit more. Martinez was in there as well. That was a wicked delivery from Fernandes, not really made the most of.
He's so good at set pieces, Fernandes, isn't he? And he's jumped up, Xerxes, and he's kind of missed it. Slices of flicks. If he gets a proper connection on it, then who knows? He was still quite far out, and the keeper would have had time to try and dive, but Good ball in, again, set pieces, very important in tight games, and this is certainly proving to be one.
So a cold night in Pilsen, just as cold in Zurich, I'm told, where the draw for World Cup qualifying takes place tomorrow. Thomas Tuchel, despite the fact he doesn't start work until the new year, will be part of the FA contingent. So too will our England correspondent Faye Carruthers, bringing you all the reaction. There's a possibility England could find themselves in the same group as some of the home nations. We'll be able to hear how that unfolds across the TalkSport network tomorrow, by which time Manchester United will hope to have had an away victory in the Europa League safely tucked away. They've never won in the Czech Republic though. 4th visit, 2 draws and defeat from their previous 3 excursions to this part of the world. We have 17 minutes the first half to play, and we await the first goal as Malacia gives the ball away in the left-back position. Vidra linking up on that right-hand side. Good cross into the centre and a woeful touch from Rachelin. He was offside anyway. And the flag really spared his blushes because it was a decent delivery from the right wing. He got away from his marker. It was only just the wrong side of Martinez, the deepest of the United defence, and it bounces off his shin and behind what would have been a goal kick.
Yeah, Caddo just did Malacia there. Got half a yard and whipped it in. Rachelin should be looking along the line, or should realise where the United defenders are, but because he was kind of past the near post, he wouldn't have been able to do too much with it anyway. It just goes to show how dangerous they can be, Pilsen.
Well, he scored 6 goals this season, Daniel Vasilin, in all competitions. And as much as we bemoan the lack of chances that United have carved out, the same can be said of Viktoria Pilsen. Very cagey game so far. They do usually score, but they've scored in 15 of their last 16 Europa League home games. Only Slavia Prague, the leaders, have scored more goals than Pilsen in the Czech League this season. They do pose a threat coming forward. The ball is launched towards the Manchester United half of the field by Samson Duer. It's going to be a throw-in to be taken by Tyrell Malacia. 0-0 with half an hour gone. Chelsea comfortable winners in Astana as their domination of the Conference League continued here on TalkSport 2 earlier today, and we've got Rangers Tottenham coming up on TalkSport at 8 o'clock this evening. There's a hospital pass to Dalot. Allows Pilsen to come forward with Soiree, the left wing back. Pilsen matching up Amarin's 3-4-3 formation tonight. As they are getting some joy out wide. Here's Dalot though, back facing his own goal, and Arna wanted the ball played back to him. Dalot instead opts to play it upfield to Joshua Zirkzee. Not a single attempt on target from either team so far. Pilsen have the ball with Duer on halfway, 0-0.
I do think we've got to think to ourselves, it's not going to be one of those really exciting games, or United are going to, come
Don't
here.
tell the listeners that.
No, but we've got to be realistic of what this game is about. This game is about being gritty, being tough, not giving away goals. Individual errors have we seen from United at recent times, both under Ten Hag and also Amarin as well. So it's going to be tight.
Lovely touch from Zirkzee after Casemiro fizzed the ball forward. Here's Fernandez, edge of the area, shoots right-footed, took a bobble. Good save. Jedlicka down to his right. That was crisp from Manchester United. A quick-fire attack, and Fernandez almost finding the bottom corner. Decent save.
Yeah, and it's going to be tight, and you've got to realise that, it's a tough game. To come away with 3 points if they can would be brilliant, but that's what you want to see. Bruno Fernandes, he's acting like a captain, a leader on the pitch there, put in a great ball just a couple of minutes ago on a set piece, and finds himself running from the halfway line, runs all the way to 20 yards out. It's a really good strike, and it's a really good save as well. Just Zirkzee's not quite able to read it once the keeper palms it out, but it is one of these games that's, United almost you need to make sure you keep a clean sheet, and even if it's a 0-0, it's not the worst result in the world.
Ante Vidra has been bundled over by Mazraoui. The Moroccan is flabbergasted. A free kick has been given, but it's in a promising position. Left-hand side, not too far shy of the 18-yard line. You are listening to Viktoria Pilsen against Manchester United in the Europa League, live on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever the mission, home or away. Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Decent set-piece opportunity, Scott Minto.
Yeah, and again, we've seen United concede from set pieces, and now this is another little test. Can you handle it? And it will be interesting to see. Again, it's all about the delivery.
You would put it, wouldn't you, right in front of the goalkeeper, based on what we've seen in the opening 33 minutes from Andre Onana. Lucas Kalvac, the captain, who got the late winner against Real Sociedad earlier in the competition, is going to whip this in right-footed. Bruno Fernandes with a header up, but not really away. Mazraoui completes the clearance, but he's brought down by Suarez. Left foot volley deflected back into the penalty area, and again Fernandes doing his defensive duty, brings the ball down and then clears it right-footed up to the halfway line. Yeah,
it wasn't quite the best of balls again. Not seen too much quality apart from that one cross from Bruno Fernandes.
That's better from Onana. A long diagonal pass from the right-back position, plucked from the sky by the Manchester United goalkeeper, right on the edge of the area, and he quickly plays it out to Ahmad on this right-hand side. 0-0 with 12 minutes the first half to play. They've gone back into their own half with Martinez. I wonder if Ahmad could have been a bit more positive there.
Yeah, there were two defenders chasing him, but I just thought almost just kick the ball ahead, and he's really quick, isn't he? And just test the pace of the people trying to chase him. In the end, he turned round and played the safe option, and I just wonder whether a little bit of time, once they start winning games, back-to-back victories, that then he would have just absolutely gone for it.
They have only lost one of their last 16 in this competition, Manchester United. That was when they were knocked out by Sevilla a few seasons ago now. Ball is on the halfway line, and Matthijs de Ligt sliding in to make sure that United have it. Now Casemiro skips away from one challenge, prods the ball forward to Rashford, who under pressure manages to find Fernandes inside the centre circle. Fernandes looking for Xerxes. Xerxes immediately tries to flick it forward for Rashford, but it's cleared away by Samson Douer in the heart of that three-man Pilsen backline. 10 minutes to play until half-time, 0-0.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes, best player on the pitch at the moment. He's looking good when he's on the set pieces. He's also trying to boss it in midfield, playing little 1-2s. He's already had that shot, but on target. The only one so far we've had.
Yeah, only shot on target from either side, but it stays goalless. Here is Matthijs de Ligt. For all the chopping and changing that Amorim has done so far, as he almost goes on a voyage of discovery as Manchester United manager, de Ligt does seem to be a mainstay in that back three. Here's Bruno Fernandes. He's most certainly a mainstay in midfield, the captain. Although sometimes he plays in the 10, sometimes he plays deeper, as he is tonight alongside Casemiro.
Yeah, I think against the real top teams, I don't think he's a central midfielder in that 3-4-2-1. I think he's one of those two number 10s. It's just really interesting to see what, after another half a dozen games, Ruben Amorim has to come to a point where he's saying, right, this is my best 11 and I'm going to play this. So, one, when is that going to happen, and two, what's the 11 going to be? Really interesting.
Just seeing a close-up clip of the Manchester United manager on our monitor, a shake of the head from Ruben Amorim. He certainly isn't one to hide his emotions on the touchline, is he? Always animated, always pretty transparent as well. The ball has been kicked out here because Vacheline, the captain, is down with a head injury as he went to compete with Martinez. I think Martinez just led with the left arm and caught Vacheline on the top of his head. As we welcome listeners from Talk Sport, we've got 10 minutes of the first half to play here. Chances in short supply. Bruno Fernandes from distance did force one good save from Jedlicka, the Pilsen goalkeeper, but at the moment, Scott, it's all very attritional.
No, it is. It's, as I say, it's a scrappy game, but we're expecting that. It's cold, the pitch is bobbly, and they're very good, Pilsen at home, unbeaten all season, so it's always going to be a tough game. But in terms of how they've bossed it, or who's been the better of the two sides, it's been United. They've had 75% possession so far, and they have come closest to scoring. They just need to make sure at some point they do create more chances, and with one of those chances get the goal, because it is really important they come away with all 3 points tonight if they can.
Joshua Xerxes has just been penalised for a foul there. I thought it was him who was being held by the Pilsen defender. Free kick comes to nothing, and United looking to build again with Fernandes initially. Scoops the ball out to his left-hand side, and Tyrell Malacia, but again they've slowed the game down, United, and Pilsen have got men back there as Fernandes looks for Rashford. It's cleared away and it stays Viktoria Pilsen 0, Manchester United 0. Here's Casemiro, plays it through the legs of the captain Vassili, and it's cleared away by Duet, and Manchester United will have a throw on the right hand side, level with the Pilsen technical area. Miroslav Kubek, the home coach, in his third spell in charge. He led them to the Czech title in 2015. This is Lisandro Martinez, who comes over halfway with 7 minutes to play in this first half. You already start to feel that the first goal could be really important here. If United get it, it will be a case of just managing the tempo of the game. But if Pilsen get their noses in front with the home crowd behind them, it might be difficult for Ruben Amorim's side to come back. Here's Dalot taking on Soiré, but Soiré does well, gets his body between Dalot and the goal, and will try and clear this left-footed. Dalot still trying to pen them back down by the right corner flag, but they played their way out neatly here. Pilsen, a combination of Soiré and Pavel Schalk. Firm but fair challenge from Matthijs de Ligt on Vassili, gives away a throw-in.
Someone's got to help Darlow out there. He's tried to go down the right wing, and I have to say Suarez defended very, very well, and not just in that particular instant. And then they're almost playing between the two of them, and Darlow's going through a little bit of doggies back and forth. Someone's got to push in and try and help, especially when they're right by the corner flag.
Bruno Fernandes sweeps the ball out to the left of Malassi. Here's Lisandro Martinez just inside the United half, forward to Rashford. First time layoff back to Martinez. And then de Ligt under pressure from Vassili, plays it back to Onana in goal. Wolf whistles from the home supporters as United keep possession, but not really in an area where they're going to hurt their host. Goalless it remains with 39 on the clock now, and Xerxes was being held there inside his own half, and it will be a free kick. It was the Serbian Markovic who was just a bit too robust in the challenge.
Yeah, but good play from Xerxes there. That's a physical battle, almost sending a message to the centre half that, yeah, you can try and get round me, but I'm stronger than you. So well done from him.
Here's Martinez for United, down the left-hand side. Again, not too much movement ahead of him, so he's going to go all the way back to de Ligt. Usually the furthest back of that three-man United defence, and Arna now in possession. Looks up, assesses the options, plays it short to Mazraoui on the edge of the penalty area. Of all the signings that United made in the summer, £200 million worth, Mazraoui at £17 million, looks like the pick of them so far. So, ball with a lot of pace on it that Onana played out to Martinez. On this surface, I'm not entirely sure that's what you should be doing. Forward it goes to Joshua Xerxes, dispossessed this time by Markovic, and Pilsen have it back.
And that's where Xerxes needs to be stronger. I mean, United fans will know about the guy I'm about to talk to that I played with, Mark Hughes. You play the ball up to him and he can have two defenders hanging off him and bring the ball down and play his midfield in. When you're away from home, you've got to be stronger than that.
Funnily enough, that came up on the Inside Devils YouTube show this week. You can find it on the usual TalkSport platforms. Ollie Murs, our special guest, and he was bemoaning Rasmus Højlund as a number 9, not holding the ball up properly. Is that fair?
No, it is fair, but I don't think he was ready. He's an incredibly talented player. He's very quick, he's strong. He didn't even hit double figures in Italy in Serie A, and you expected him, with him being so young as well, to be the number 9 for arguably the biggest club in the world, and be that focal point. That the shirt for Manchester United weighs so heavy, even more so for the striker, especially if you're the lone striker. I just think I get the kind of buy for the future and, you know, try and get them young if you can, but in that position is so key. You have to buy for the here and now as well. Seasoned senior pro who you know will score goals on a regular basis as well as hold the ball up.
Free kick for Pilsen, midway inside the United half. Suarez plays it into the penalty area, flicks off a Pilsen head and behind for a goal kick. 0-0 it remains.
And they spent a lot of money on him as well, didn't they? You know, buying for the future for, was it £70 million? Xerxes was half that. I don't think either of them really have shown that they can take United to where they want to be.
One of the debates we had, though, if you're saying that United need a season number 9, where do they get one from? Because I think there's a reason that Arsenal haven't signed one. It's not because Mikel Arteta doesn't want to play with a striker. I think it's because they're just not out there, are there? There's a lot of talk about Victor Gyökeres. This was a player who was let go by Brighton, by the way.
No, agreed, but, you know, go back a couple of seasons, and maybe Daniel Levy would never have sold Harry Kane to another team in England, but he could have had another year and then gone on a free contract.
Rashford gives the ball away again, can't hold it up on the halfway line. He is not having a good night, Marcus Rashford.
No, there's Victor Osimhen as well, who perhaps they could have took a punt on. Ivan Toney as well. Maybe the financial deal wasn't enough. Or wasn't good enough for them.
Xerxes robbed inside the United half, and they're growing in confidence here, Pilsen. Serve out to the right-hand side. Deep delivery. Onana probably should have come for it, stayed on his line. It's headed away by Dalot in the end, and Bruno Fernandes again is doing his defensive duty. Can't keep the ball. Jamelka in the left wing position. We've got 2.5 minutes and a half to play. They won't want to concede here, Manchester United. Good challenge by Xerxes, but still Pilsen come forward, and Suarez with a curling effort, right-footed, just wide, 0-0.
It's a decent strike, wasn't it? It looked as if it was really wide and was not going to trouble Onana at all, and then it bent in. It was a great strike in the end. I think it could have been a foul there actually from Xerxes on the edge of the box, but the referee played the advantage. Again, I don't really want my number 9s coming back that deep when you're on the edge of the box. Let that dealing with the midfield, or maybe even one of the 2 number 10s. But in the end, a decent opportunity, and you're absolutely right, Crookie. The last thing United want to do, and okay, they haven't been brilliant in terms of creating lots of chances, but they have dominated this game in terms of possession. The last thing they want to do is be conceding just before half-time.
Suarez plays it back to his goalkeeper, Jedlicka. We've only got 90 seconds of the half to play. Long ball upfield by Jedlicka. Well won Fernandes. Rashford doesn't look up, passes it straight to Jamelka. I'm not sure how many times in this first half Rashford has found a teammate.
Yeah, I feel your pain. I'm now trying to look for the positives, but there's been a couple of times where he's tried something different.
Here he is again, Rashford. This time he does pick out Amad down the right-hand side. 0-0 the score into the last minute of the first half.
But he just looks like when he gets the ball, he's not ready to go. He doesn't know what he's already going to do and needs to take an extra touch or two. And don't get me wrong, the pitch is bad here, but all the top players, they know what they're going to do before they even receive the ball, and he just looks a little bit slow and cumbersome.
Martinez into Rashford, turning inside the penalty area, looking for Xerxes. That was well defended by Markovic, slides in and clears, but it's picked up by Malacia. Suddenly it's United who are ending the half the strongest, and it's Rashford here on the edge of the penalty area into Bruno Fernandes. Can he pick out a teammate in white? Fernandes rolls it to his right-hand side, and Mazraoui. Ahmad pokes it out to Dalot on this near touchline. We're about to see how many added minutes there will be. Dalot tries to take on Suarez, fails to do so. Suarez slides in. Vidra lets it run underneath his studs, and here come Pilsen on the attack. It's very open all of a sudden. Serve has been fouled by Rashford, and that may well be the first yellow card of the evening.
It is, and it does sum up his first half already, doesn't it? Again, just not reading the situation, not dropping in at all first, and then it looks like he's trying to get back, but he isn't, and just pushes him over. No complaints whatsoever, not even trying to make an attempt with the ball with his feet, just has both hands on his back.
3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. You're listening to TalkSport 2. Viktoria Pilsen 0, Manchester United 0. Free kick played forward. Here's serve. Right-footed cross from the left-hand side. Martinez leaps well and nods it clear, and then Rashford helps it away into the centre circle. It will come forward again. Malacia misses his header. Another opportunity for Vachelin to try and get himself into a crossing position down the right-hand side. Casemiro plays it against Vachelin, sensible, and he's out for a throw.
We discussed it, didn't we, on the Premier League All Access podcast? What's going to happen with Marcus Rashford? Who's going to come in for him with the fee that they'd want, and even if they don't want that much, the wages that he would want, that he's already on at the moment, and he's got a long-term contract. Really important for Amorim to try and somehow get the best of him. But what he's seen so far, again, you don't always have to be brilliant. You have to look as if you want him to be as sharp as possible, and he hasn't so far in this first half.
What can he do here, Rashford? He's picked up the ball from Dalot, comes in field, finds Fernandes. Fernandes out to the left of Malacia. They've got two in the centre, over the head of Xerxes, nodded away, but it should be picked up by Mazraoui on the edge of that Pilsen penalty area, away to our right. Here's Dalot now, into Ahmad. Ahmad 5 yards outside the box. He's going to switch the play to Malacia. He brings it down neatly. Again, I think he wanted Rashford to make a run ahead of him there. Rashford comes infield. Little Rabona from Fernandes. Rashford with a cross straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. You're listening to Viktoria Plzeň against Manchester United in the Europa League, live on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes. If you've got a plan, we've got a van. I wonder what Ruben Amorim's plan will be for the second half.
Yeah, I don't think he'll make any changes at half-time. He'll certainly be absolutely delighted with the clean sheet so far. But going forward, Xerxes battled hard without being brilliant. Ahmad has looked a little bit dangerous, but hasn't really done too much or been able to open his legs up. Marcus Rashford is the one. He's such a big thing. If Amorim can somehow get the best out of Rashford, then this United side looks completely different, but I'm not so sure he can.
They're on 9 points so far, Manchester United. 2 wins and 3 draws as a long-range shot comes in, as easily saved by Onana. They started this round of games in 12th place. Rangers currently occupying the final of the top 8 automatic spots, just a point ahead, so it is tight. A point wouldn't be the worst result in the world, but they would really want all 3 as the half-time whistle sounds. A fairly uneventful evening so far in Plzeň. Bruno Fernandes' effort beaten away down to his right by Martin Jedlicka, the closest either team have come to scoring. Fernandes very animated with his teammates as he makes his way off. Another 45 minutes in which Ruben Amorim, Scott, has surely been presented with more questions than answers.
Well, yes, but again, I'll go back to the fact that this is a really difficult away game. It's not going to be really pretty and easy on the eye. They're going to have to win ugly here. And the clean sheet, the defensive side has been pretty decent so far. Now, how can you try and make sure that we do something a bit better going forward? And that's what he's got to try and find out.
And you've already said you don't think you'll make any changes for the start of the second half, so what will the message be to the personnel that are out there?
I think from a defensive point of view, just, move the ball a little bit quicker, and then if you can, Marcus Rashford, Ahmed in particular, and Xerxes, let's try and do something a little bit better going forward.
Half-time here then, Manchester United 0, Viktoria Plzeň 0. Well, the last time Manchester United played away from home in the Czech Republic, it was a drab 0-0 draw in Prague. Not too far from here. That first half very much in keeping with that night under Sir Alex Ferguson. What can the Red Devils do to change the course of events in the second? We are back underway here on TalkSport 2. United all in white. They're shooting from right to left in this second half. Viktoria Plzeň second in the Czech League in their red shirts with a blue trim, red shorts and blue socks are attacking the goal away to our right. No change in personnel. So United with Onana in goal, Mazraoui, De Ligt and Martinez the back 3, Dalot, Casemiro, Fernandes and Malacia across midfield, and it's Ahmad and Rashford in behind Xerxes up front. Here is Matthijs De Ligt, where we see a change in tempo, a bit more urgency from Manchester United in the second half. Dalot gives the ball away, intercepted by the Plzeň captain Kalvac. Here is Mate Vidra, scored 12 Premier League goals during his time at Burnley. Opportunity maybe for Lucas Serve to get a shot away from the edge of the area. Instead he rolls it out to the left-hand side. Dalot looking to defend against the impressive Soiree, the fullback for Viktoria Plzeň, had a good first half. Is Serve again. Midway inside United territory, back to Samson Douer. His little chip cross into the area is headed away initially by Mazraoui, then stooping clearance by De Ligt, but didn't get too much on it, and the shot from the captain Kalvac hits his own man, hits Vachelin and bounces kindly into the gloves of Andre Onana.
Well, he's 6'4" and he couldn't get out of the way there, could he? He had a knock on the head in the first half, and he almost got a knock on the head there in the second. Yeah, look, I mean, I don't want to jump on the United bandwagon and be ultra critical and say, look, this is rubbish and we're not creating any chances. I'm trying to get people to understand that, one, the conditions, but two, the job that Ruben Amorim has. That's why he's the manager now of Manchester United, because they're a million miles from where we expect them to be. Boy, has he got a job on his hands.
He gives it away in his own half and then wins it back via a throw-in. 0-0. We've played 2.5 minutes of the second half, and once again Amorim is like a jack in the box inside that technical area. Big black puffer jacket for the bearded Manchester United manager tonight, keeping him warm. Temperatures well below zero. Onana gives it away inside his own penalty area, and Mate Vidra, the former Watford man, Here's Viktoria Plzeň the lead, and it's another catastrophic error from Andre Onana. He passed it straight out to Vashelin. His cross turned in by Vidra, and within 3 minutes of the second half, it's Viktoria Plzeň 1, Manchester United 0.
Wow, and I'm sorry, what is he doing? I'm shaking my head as he receives the ball, takes that first touch and doesn't kick it away first of all, because what we saw there was Plzeň having 3 players coming on top of him. Beat the press, just play it long. But instead he's tried to play out with these conditions, with this pitch, got nowhere near where he wants it to be. And Pavel Suk just plays it across the Vidra very easily indeed. Now talks about how you want to defend well and keep that clean sheet. I mean, how many times does Onana need to make these mistakes? It's not actually, it's so basic, it's schoolboy. And I understand the way the modern day footballers wanted to play out from the back, but understand the situation. You've got 3 players coming down on you. Just beat the press, think the ball over the top, and maybe you can even get on the attack list yourself. My goodness me.
An absolute howler from Onana for the second time in as many games, and Manchester United behind on the road in Europe. And that top 8 in the Europa League suddenly looks a distant dream. Matej Vidra, wouldn't you just know it? Once of Watford and Burnley, scoring against Manchester United in Europe. 5 minutes gone in the second half, they trail 1-0. And Casemiro has just taken a whack in the face.
Well, the question was about when does Ruben Amorim make changes. And I think he's got to be saying, listen, all of you start warming up, because they're going to make 3 in the next 5 or so minutes. This is... Look, it's not been good enough, but up until now they've looked very solid defensively, and then your keeper goes and does that.
Here's Joshua Zirkzee. Manchester United all of a sudden chasing again. Fernandes shows his frustration.
And now it's Plzeň who can control the game, whether they're with or without the ball. Just sit back in, stay organised, well structured. And this pitch, again, we talked about, it's bobbly. You need 2 or 3 touches to get it down. Very difficult to play slick, one-touch football.
Well, they've got options on the bench, haven't they? Manchester United. I'm sure Rasmus Højlund, 8 European goals already over the course of his Red Devils career, would be keen to come on. Mason Mount, Christian Eriksen, Kobbie Mainoo, if you're going to get more control in midfield potentially. That's what Amorim has paid the big bucks for. 51 on the clock, United a goal behind, and this place is bouncing. Here's Martinez. You're listening to TalkSport 2 on this busy European night. Rangers against Tottenham over on TalkSport, still to come in the Europa League later. Rashford forward to Zirkzee, can't hold it up. So weak from Joshua Zirkzee.
Yeah,
and Plzeň have it back again.
I don't think it's central midfield is the problem for United. I think it's the 3 attacking players. I wouldn't be surprised if all 3 come off.
Matej Vidra, dispossessed by Martinez. Casemiro, looking for Ahmad through the middle. Race for pace, Ahmad didn't quite get there. Brilliant defending from Jamelka, sliding in. Better from United though, more positive. Here's Ahmad, picks it up from Malacia, plays it against Markovic, and Plzeň will get it clear.
But at least he's looking to run in behind when Zirkzee drops off. Marcus Rashford wasn't doing that.
7 minutes played in the second half. Viktoria Plzeň 1, Manchester United 0. United outside the top 8 at the start of play. Could find themselves adrift by the end of the evening with 2 matches to play. Rangers at home and then a trip to Bucharest in the last round of matches. Amorim has lost his last 2 in the Premier League. He's never lost 3 in a row as a manager. Staring down the barrel of that now after a massive mistake from Onana that was fully punished by Matej Vidra to score his 3rd European goal of the season. Mazraoui, the latest United player to vocally show his frustration with teammates.
And he's got to start making changes within the next couple of minutes, because we're not seeing anything different at all. You know, obviously it's got even worse in the second half because they conceded, but going forward, again, because they're well structured, Plzeň, it's just pass, and in the end, they're going back to Onana.
Well, he had to come from behind against Bodo Glimt in Amorim's first Europa League game a couple of weeks ago. They're going to have to do it again now. They won 3-2 that night. Rashford can't keep the ball in play on the left-hand side. This will be a throw-in for Plzeň.
tried to be positive about Marcus Rashford, but he's got to come off. He's not giving anything at all for United.
Listen to the noise all of a sudden inside this very compact arena in the Czech Republic. Fernandes trying to win it back for United, but they're chasing shadows since the goal. Here is Guer. Rashford slides in and catches him. He's already been bookmarked, this Rashford. Guer's made the most of it. Well, he was sent off in Europe last season, Marcus Rashford, against Bayern Munich, I seem to recall. And he's treading a very fine line now, having picked up that booking in the first half, and that might just make up Amorim's mind, because it's a clumsy tackle actually on a yellow card. He caught him.
Yeah, look, it didn't catch him as much as he's going down. He's making a meal of it for sure. But the bottom line is, not only is his back leg that's kind of caught him, and no, not in the way he's saying how much pain he's in, but absolutely. I mean, even for the good of the team, to make sure you don't go down to 10 men, he could easily have been given a second yellow there. I think Marcus Rashford, in a way, I think it would have been undeserved, but he's got away with that one. And he hasn't been good enough when he's been on the ball. He's in danger now of letting his team down and getting sent off. He needs to come off. Changes need to be made.
Does Ruben Amorim have a big decision to make for the Manchester derby? Because I talked about it before, that maybe Bayern might have expected to start tonight after that error of the weekend from Onana. He's made another mistake here. Would it be too fanciful to expect him to be thrown into the Manchester derby?
Look, it's a big call to do that, but Onana, not just tonight, but in recent games, he looks a million miles off it, doesn't it? You know, he doesn't look particularly safe. He's come out a couple of times early in the first half. You know, he clashed into Casemiro, winded him, but on the ball, trying to play the ball out, my goodness me, is an accident waiting to happen.
Rasmus Højlund immediately has been stripped ready for action, and I think it's pretty certain it'll be Marcus Rashford to go off after just about escaping that second yellow card.
I'm surprised it's only one.
Last year's won a free kick and caught from behind.
Maybe make it 2 or 3.
It's going to be a free kick for United just inside their own half, and here comes confirmation of the change, and indeed Marcus Rashford's night is over. And I'd be surprised if he starts the derby the weekend, by the way.
Can't. Not on current form. Not on current form. So he could easily got sent off there. I do think that Wilson player made the most of it, but I've seen that, especially in Europe, getting that second yellow.
11 minutes go on in the second half. You're listening to TalkSport 2. Viktoria Plzeň 1, Manchester United 0 in the Europa League. United unbeaten in cup competition so far this season, that record hanging by a thread. Plzeň, much the better team since half-time after a pretty uneventful opening 45 minutes.
Yeah, not surprised as well to see Xerxes dropping into the number 10 and Højlund going up as that number 9. So this is where I think actually is his best position. Whether he'll get there once he decides, Ruben Amorim, who's his best 11, I'm not quite sure, but certainly an opportunity for him.
Here's Martinez for United, forward to Xerxes. Højlund now leading the line. He scored 8 European goals for United. If he was to score a 9th tonight, he would equal Rashford. Wayne Rooney is the only previous 21-year-olds to achieve that feat. He scored a couple of big goals, didn't he, in that win against Bodo Glimt 2 weeks ago. There is still time for United. They can find some cohesion, find a bit of courage actually. I think they're too afraid at times in possession, not bold enough. Delict, right on cue, plays it back to his goalkeeper Onana.
Where Plzeň are doing well is when one of the 3 centre-halves are on the ball, that they're pushing up and making sure that the likes of Bruno Fernandes and also Casemiro has got someone on him. As you say, they're scared, the United defenders, to play the ball in, and just in case the ball's intercepted and they come back at them. But sometimes you have to do that. I mean, go back to Roy Keane. He was like, give me the ball, I don't care if someone's on me at all. Give me the ball and I will do something with it. And even if I have to give the ball back, there can be movement within those 2 passes in behind, and then there could be a better option for one of the centre-halves to play. But at the moment, it's just too easy.
Free kick for Plzeň after Delict. Caught Schultz on the halfway, play forward towards the United penalty area. Fernandes clears it. It's run back by the Plzeň captain Kalvac, and he goes all the way back to his goalkeeper Jedlicka. Still just that one save that he's had to make, denying Fernandes in the first half. Nodded away by Mazraoui after the goalkeeper for the Czechs went long upfield. Here's Dalot for United. That's a sloppy pass, intercepted. And here comes Cadu, the Brazilian, down the right. One back by Bruno Fernandes. Xerxes thought about playing it back to Fernandes, then allows himself to be dispossessed inside his own half, and here they come again. Opportunity to get a shot away by Vachelin from the edge of the area, and he curls it wide.
The thing is, there's too many players playing as if they're in a training session, being casual, not looking after the ball in the way that they should. Marcus Rashford being one, Xerxes being another. And it's almost as if, yeah, you got 2-3 players around him and lose the ball, okay, I'll jog back. No, this is Manchester United you're playing for. This is the first team. This is not reserve. This is not a smaller club. One of the biggest clubs in the world. And we can't always play brilliantly, but what you can do is give it absolutely everything and receive the ball, be as strong as possible. Just too lackadaisical.
Well, Anana from the goal kick there has passed it straight to Jamelka, and then Pilsen have given it away. And here's Rasmus Højlund on the edge of the penalty area, gets the ball on his left foot, shoots tamely into the arms of Jedlicka. I was amazed actually how quickly Czech Suarez got back there. Pilsen, having initially played themselves into trouble, looked like Højlund would go through one-on-one, but to be fair to the wing-back, he's gobbled up the ground and made it more difficult than it at first appeared.
Yeah, it was a really poor pass back, and I just think with the pace of Højlund, he might just almost go back and use his arm against the defender, who would have obviously been very scared to bring him down, but by sort of coming back and checking, then he's been pushed to one side. Again, perhaps it shows a little lack of confidence there. The directness, the pace, the strength that he's got. Trust yourself.
Viktoria Pilsen 1, Manchester United 0. This game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. Mason Mount and Anthony both about to come on for United with an hour gone. They've got a free kick just inside the Pilsen half, first and foremost. In fact, the changes are to be made during this stoppage in play. Tyrell Malacia is replaced by Anthony, and presumably will go and play as the left wing back. Joshua Xerxes' evening is over as well. Doesn't look particularly enamoured by the decision, and Mason Mount, wearing that iconic number 7 jersey, is on for the final half an hour.
Well, it's a big half an hour for him, isn't it?
Ball into the penalty area. Højlund brings it down. Right wing position, crosses, but it was a tame one, and smashed upfield by Guer, picked up by Mazraoui. Now Bruno Fernandes. He tries to launch it forward towards the right wing position where Mason Mount is, but can't keep it in play. Goal kick for Pilsen. They lead 1-0. We played 61 minutes.
Yeah, a real chance for Mason Mount in what has been very much a stop-start Manchester United career to become a hero and create something and turn a 1-0 defeat into a 2-1 win. And it is important, it really is important that not only do they not lose this game, but they find a way to get all 3 points. The table could look very, very bad for them come the end of the evening. Results elsewhere as well go against them.
I don't think any of the players who've gone off could really have too many complaints. Certainly not Marcus Rashford. Malacia did okay defensively, didn't offer a lot going forward. Xerxes looked like he had a pair of ice skates on at times. Just couldn't seem to bring the ball under control.
No, I think 2 of the 3, Xerxes and Marcus Rashford, need to be doing a lot better.
Malacia Fernandes being put under pressure. He's not going to get a free kick there. Serve bummed him over, but he is trying here, the captain, to drive United on. They trail 1-0. Here's Anthony with a bleached blonde hair, forward down the line to Ahmad. Good play from Ahmad, onto his left foot. Højlund, can't miss, and Manchester United are back on level terms. And Rasmus Højlund off the bench to the rescue. Good play from Ahmad. His shot fell kindly into the path of Højlund, who from 4 yards out side foots home. It is Viktoria Pilsen 1, Manchester United 1.
For fair play for the substitutions. It's Anthony's on the right-hand side, and he just played the ball into Ahmed, but it's a great bit of skill. He's not making the defender in the box. And he goes for the far post, which is why you're always taught, go for the far post. If it's the goalkeeper or a defender and comes off them, it can go towards, into the middle of the goal, and that's exactly what happens. It's come off the back of a defender, Højlund, right place, right time, simple tapping, and now the whole psychology of the game has changed.
It's his 4th European goal of the season. He joins Rashford and Rooney as the only 21-year-olds in United's history to score 9 European goals, Rasmus Højlund, and now we have a game on TalkSport 2. 1-1, still the best part of half an hour to be played.
Brilliant from Ahmed, wasn't it? Just getting into that inside right position, getting a little nutmeg, having the shot, and it was a simple tapping for Højlund.
Free kick here for Pilsen, though. United will need to have their wits about them to avoid conceding so early after getting themselves on level terms. It's going to be swung in from the right-hand side as we look. Pilsen attacking the goal away to our right. It's not a great delivery. Bruno Fernandes heads it clear, picked up by Cadu, the Brazilian. Back out to the captain, Kalvac, and Manchester United again clear their lines. Casemiro forward to Anthony on his left-hand side. He rather cheaply allows the ball to roll out for a throw, but he played a part in that goal as well, Anthony. Positive.
No, absolutely. And we wonder whether he would be on the left or on the right, but Darlow switched over to the left and he is on the right-hand side, and it was his pass that put Ahmad into the really strong position, but still he has a great bit of skill. Just making sure he's able to come inside on his left foot, have a shot. And yeah, it's completely changed now, isn't it? United's body language looked completely different already.
Yeah, and I think Bruno Fernandes played a part in that. I mentioned just before that he was the one, as the captain should be in truth, trying to drive his team on, winning the ball back deep in his own half, trying to orchestrate proceedings as Mason Mount is penalised for a foul. Pilsen have a free kick with 65 on the clock. 1-1 the score. We've got Rangers against Spurs coming up over on TalkSport. That game gets underway at 8 o'clock as Pilsen play the ball towards Vidra, the goal scorer. Casemiro has it back down by the left corner flag, clears it upfield left-footed and off Cadu and out for a throw.
Yeah, you're right about Bruno. I mean, maybe he's not your Manchester United captain in the way of Brian Robson, Roy Keane, Steve Bruce, but he is someone who tries to make things happen when things aren't going well. He's been probably United's best player.
Mason Mount driving forward, plays the ball out to Anthony on the right hand side. It's cleared into the centre circle. De Ligt's going to have to get there ahead of Vachelin, who was strong, but Mazraoui was stronger. So there's a bit more determination about Manchester United since those changes. Here's Dalot down the left-hand side, attacking the penalty area. Only Højlund ahead of him. He's going to cut on his right foot. Dalot, he goes for goal. He slips, and rather embarrassingly, the ball hits his standing leg, and the chance goes away. Here is Anthony on the right. Casemiro with a little chip cross blocked by the captain, Kalvac, but still United probing here, looking to get themselves in front for the first time. 1-1 the score. Anthony into Ahmad. Anthony into the penalty area. Can he find Højlund? Yes, he can. Højlund is out-muscled by two centre-backs. The ball's still bobbling around inside the box. Ahmad will try and keep it alive. It's not clear yet. Martinez has a swing at it. Blocked on the edge of the area. Is Mazraoui, though, for United. Suddenly the team in white are in the ascendancy. Anthony's cross headed clear. It's going to be a throw.
Different game now, isn't it? Completely different game. Substitutions have made a difference, the goal has made a difference, and United suddenly look like they have that belief. We talked about the body language in the first half of certain players. Boy, it's changed now.
Well, I wonder what the referee is checking for here, because he's just pointed to his earpiece and is delaying the throw-in being taken. Anthony with the ball in. I didn't see anything too untoward. Højlund goes down under the challenge from Samson Dwyer, but the check is quickly over and play has restarted. That's how it should be done. If the PGO Mel are watching. A few seconds, have a look at it, get on with the game. Ahmad, United trying to get on with the game. Into Mount inside the penalty. That's a brilliant tackle, perfectly timed by Markovic. It's going to be a corner for Manchester United. It's still 1-1.
Yeah, needed to be as well, isn't it? Mason Mount making that run into the box. Obviously, he's sharp, but he's not really quick. Ahmad plays the ball. If it had been him, he might have got there first.
I'm surprised he's not played more minutes, Mason Mount, under Amorim, because he's perfect for this system. With his energy and his pressing ability. Knows where the goal is as well, of course. Here comes the corner. Swung in from the left-hand side. That's not a good delivery from Ahmad. Actually, from set pieces, he's been quite poor tonight. Didn't beat the first man, clear behind for another Manchester United corner. Still 1-1.
Again, set piece is so important. Bruno Fernandes, being the captain, has said, no. Okay, there's been a couple of poor corners, I've recognised that, I'm going to take this one now.
It's going to be a right-footed outswinger this time by Bruno Fernandes. High looping one. De Ligt is decent in the air, nods it forward there, asking for handball. Actually, if Gallo was a bit more switched on there, he might have been able to get a shot away. In the end, his cross is deflected behind. It will be another corner, but they're still surrounding the referee. They are adamant, these Manchester United players, that an arm was used in there. Let's have a look.
Well, it will be interesting to see. Yeah, VAR say something, or say just wait, but no, it's too close, I think.
Yeah. Entirely unconvincing appeal. Corner from the right, 69 goal, 1-1 the score. Bruno Fernandes, good delivery this time. Casemiro flicks it on, didn't quite come from Mount, but he's going to keep it alive here. Manchester United enjoying their most dominant spell of the game since that Rasmus Højlund equaliser, cancelling out the opening goal scored by the former Watford striker Matej Vydra for Viktoria Plzeň. Fernandes tries to play it down the line to Ahmad, intercepted. We'll get another go here, Manchester United. Fernandes into Ahmad again. First time ball forward to his captain, but too many red shirts in the way and it will be cleared downfield by Plzeň. Casemiro's growing into importance. He's gone down and won a free kick, and they wanted to take it quickly, Manchester United. Ahmad would have been away, but the referee is not happy because the ball was moving. So they're going to have to stop and start again with a dead ball here. 20 minutes to play, 1-1. Bruno Fernandes stands over the free kick for Manchester United. I wonder if this reaction to the changes has given Amorim food for thought for the weekend. Fernandes swings in the ball, Vydra clears it away. They can't really get out at the moment, Plzeň. Bruno Fernandes tussling with Schalk, who's come away with the ball, and it's 2-on-2 momentarily. Anthony's going to have some defending to do here. Schalk into the area, well played. Mazraoui timed his challenge to perfection and just prods the ball clear. They were short-handed there for a moment, United. Here's Ahmad, slows the game down to a walking pace, allows the white shirts to get forward in support. Casemiro over the halfway line to Mount, the former Champions League winner with Chelsea. Here's Dalot now, level with the penalty area, left-hand side, plays it short for Mount, gets it back again. Diogo Dalot. Fernandes comes over to help him. Bruno Fernandes, left-footed cross towards Højlund. Couldn't quite get there, sliding at the near post, and the ball spoons behind for a goal kick.
What a ball from Bruno Fernandes. He's not even looked up, and it's on his left foot as well, close to the corner flag, and he just whipped it across the 6-yard box. And Højlund, I still don't know how he missed it. He's made the good run, could have made an absolute hero of himself by coming off the bench and scoring 2 goals, and he still might, but what an opportunity, what a ball from Bruno.
We're going to see some changes here for Viktoria Plzeň. Adu has come on in place of Daniel Vachelin, so it's a change in attack. Fresh legs at the top end of the pitch. And that probably is a reflection that all of a sudden Miroslav Kubek, the home manager, feels under a bit of pressure. Here is Abu, straight away, bulldozing his way into the penalty area, crossing towards Vydra, shoots wide. That's a chance for Plzeň to retake the lead.
Well, we talked about substitutions making a difference for Manchester United. Looked like it could have made a difference there for Viktoria Plzeň, and still might. Really good run from Adu, 2 United players on him, but he still managed to get the cross in. I'll tell you what, that's the chance. Takes a good touch. I'd say Vydra. I've seen him stick the ball in the back of the net in English football in those positions before.
You're listening to Viktoria Plzeň against Manchester United in the Europa League, live on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Wherever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. 17 minutes to go, and after a turgid first half, when, well, if you'd had a few of those strong Czech beers, you might well have fallen asleep. It's come to life in a second. Scott Minter.
I love the accentuation on turgid there.
It was terrible. You were being polite.
No. I'm just trying to be constructive and say, look, of course it's terrible, but what can they do to make it better?
Well, certainly the changes have made an impact. Hoyland has got the goal. Mount is ferreting around at the top end of the pitch as well.
And in the first half, I was saying defensively they were good, but offensively not good enough. They need to make changes, maybe give 5 or 10 minutes. You can't have your goalkeeper keep on giving away goals like that and making mistakes like that. They are to get all 3 points here this evening, Manchester United. I mean, he touched on it as to whether he deserves, his place, his starting place in the Manchester derby at the weekend. I think it's a real question that you guys have to think about, Ruben Amorim.
Well, he's rotated everybody else apart from his goalkeeper. United coming forward down the right-hand side, but Ahmad beaten to the loose ball by Yamelka. Ball played forward towards Prince Adu, but Mazraoui was there and the ball actually was already out of play. Manchester United had a throw-in level with their own 18-yard line down the right. Viktoria Plzeň before tonight with a very good defensive record domestically. They've only been breached by that Rasmus Hoyland goal, almost scuffing the ball in the end from point-blank range to make it 1-1 after Onana's error that led to Vidra putting Plzeň in front. 1-1 still the score.
Doesn't say scuff shot on the score sheet.
Absolutely. Well, he got 16 goals last season, Rasmus Hoyland, in a team that didn't create him many chances. He's got 6 this. He would argue, actually, I'm doing my job.
I think he's a really good player. I just think, the way where Manchester United are, almost where Mr. Alex Ferguson took over in a sense, a million miles off, and there's so many important key positions. None more so than that number 9. I think he's a big talent, but it's just a lot to ask him to carry the team at times, or when you're not playing well, find a loss into a win.
Clever layoff from Ahmad into Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United fans singing the name of Eric Cantona to a famous festive ditty as Anthony comes forward to the penalty area. Fernandes with a low shot block, might fall for Anthony. Back to Bruno Fernandes again. Tries to shift it onto his right foot, Bruno. And then Anthony underneath the shot, high over the crossbar. It's gone into about the 17th row of the crowd behind the goal. 1-1.
Okay, let's go ask you a question. Anthony. Discuss.
£86 million, unfortunately, is going to be the price tag that will haunt him. I think it's been difficult for him for various reasons. He's had 1 or 2 issues off the pitch that have been well documented. I think he started really well when he scored against Arsenal in his first game. I think he's a confidence player at the moment. He looks devoid of confidence. Maybe not just up to the rigours of the Premier League, but I think he's done okay tonight.
He's done well. He's made a difference tonight, but it's not going to keep him in a Manchester United career.
He's the second most expensive player in Manchester United's history, which is
and that's not his fault.
A big burden.
That's not his fault. I just think there's a lot of attacking players that need to make changes.
His serve at the other end, shoots left-footed, blocked by De Ligt on the edge of the area. Into Prince Adu, gets his shot away, blocked again by Mazraoui. This game is really on a knife edge now. Good play by Anthony, doggedly winning it back in his own half. Gives it to Ahmad, and then comes forward the Brazilian. Into Ahmad again, that's good play. Ahmad, 10 yards outside the penalty area. He's got 2 to his left. One of them's Mason Mount, chance to put United in front. He tried to shoot through the goalkeeper's legs, and it's saved by Jedlicka. That was a brilliant counter-attack, led by Anthony.
Brilliant move, it really was. And then it was Ahmad who was on the ball, and it was really unselfish play and great awareness. He was on his left foot, he could have had a shot, but he realised Mason Mount was in a better position. His touch on his left foot just takes him a little bit away, but it's a one-on-one situation, and in those, you've got to find a way to score. Sometimes the chances you say, he's hitting the target. Other times you say, no, the ball's got to hit the back of the net, and that was one of them.
I still think there's a goal in this, one way or the other. Ahmad towards the penalty area, cuts in his left foot, blocked away, and it falls kindly for Anthony. I think Anthony is saying the ball has burst. They're going to have to find a replacement. That doesn't happen every day of the week.
It certainly doesn't. What I would say about the Mason Mount chances, that's why he does suit that kind of one of the 2 number 10s. He's clever enough, he's able to get into those positions, and I don't want to say if it was on his right foot then he probably would have maybe dinked it over the keeper or just passed it round the side, but on his left foot, again, he's hit the target, but I know you have to find a way to score.
Another change for Viktoria Plzeň. 1-1 the score. Kanu is replaced by Milan Havel. Scored in the 2-2 draw against Pauk earlier this season. The man who's coming on. The referee has restarted with a bounce ball and a new ball. I would say it's like being at Wimbledon, but it's -2. There's Bruno Fernandes, back to Mazraoui, chips it forward over the head of Hoyland, and it'll be collected by Jedlicka.
And it's not raining.
Goal. It's not raining, no, it's true. Haven't seen Cliff Richard pop up in the stand yet. Although it is that time of year for him as well, to be fair.
That's
bit of mistletoe and wine. What a tune that is.
You could well be on the karaoke later as well.
Oh, I could see me bursting that out. After one or two of those Czech lagers. All forward towards Hoyland. Tell you what, they're going to taste the sweeter for these travelling Manchester United fans if their team can get a winner in the final 11 minutes, and this game feels open. Mount into Casemiro, tried to volley it forward first time when maybe should have taken a touch. Hoyland is going to attempt to put Markovic under pressure. Markovic goes back to Jedlicka, the goalkeeper, and he clears straight out of touch. And we're going to see more Manchester United changes. Alejandro Garnacho coming on. I'm sure if you're a Viktoria Plzeň defender, you don't want to see him off the bench.
No, you don't. And again, it's a sign of intent where, 1-0 down, you're thinking, what are United going to do here? Had to make changes. The changes have made a real difference, and now he wants to be even more on the front foot, and rightly so.
Manuel Ugarte as well is going to get the final 10 minutes, the Uruguayan. Imagine that will be for Casemiro. Maybe Ahmad is going to get the last 10 minutes off in preparation for that Manchester derby. But I think he's really come into the game since the changes that Ruben Amorim made, Ahmad.
Or Ahmad goes out as a wing-back and Garnacho goes into his place as the number 10.
Fascinating to see what Amorim has in store. Here's Lisandro Martinez. Still think that back three looks to work in progress. They're still a bit ponderous in possession at times. Maybe with the exception of Mazraoui, actually looks the most comfortable of those three on the ball. Here's Ahmad, 10 yards outside the penalty area. Forward to Bruno Fernandes, who's in the box now, right corner of the area. Helps it back to Anthony. Bruno's gone down, and then Anthony's shot left-footed over the crossbar. That's the issue, the decision making.
But even had a shot earlier and 20-30 yards over. That was about 15 yards over. He's getting close to the goal.
Bruno is still down holding his shin, Bruno Fernandes. May have been caught actually.
Two players going for it, kicking the ball, kicking each other. Got to give a penalty there.
Check Suarez, the Pilsen player involved. Bruno Fernandes still chuntering in the ear of the referee. We've got 9 minutes to play. It's 1-1 on TalkSport 2. Don't forget, over on TalkSport, they're underway in around about 35 minutes time. It's Rangers Tottenham. No Dominic Solanke in the Tottenham starting lineup, interestingly. And confirmation of those latest United changes. Casemiro is on for Ugarte. And Gallo makes way for Garnacho, so he's going to keep Ahmad on. It's a very attacking United team now, isn't it?
Yeah, not surprised. Certainly want to try and talk about the importance of coming away with all 3 points. They're definitely the side that looks like most likely to get the winner, so why not? Carlo's played in that position out on the right. Garnacho going forward as well.
He is United's leading scorer this season, Alejandro Garnacho. 8 goals to his name. He scored against Bodo Glimt in that 3-2 win in Amorim's first European match in charge. He's on here to try and find a winner in the final 8.5 minutes.
It's interesting actually, it's Garnacho who's stayed as he's gone right for right in terms of Darlow or wing back for wing back. Ahmad has stayed as the number 10.
Yeah. A little chest off from Hoyland is the path of Mason Mount. Unable to bring the ball under control. It's going to be a Viktoria Plzeň throw, level with their penalty area. Ruben Amorim is currently issuing instructions to Rasmus Hoyland. Is he any nearer to knowing what his best team is? Certainly Hoyland's got to play up front, hasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, in terms of the 11, I know who I'd like to see, but unfortunately Marcus Rashford isn't in it. Hoyland has to be. He's the only decent number 9 they've got, really, I think. It's just such an important position.
Oh, it's poor from Garnacho. Playing the ball back into his own penalty area, and there was a slip in there. Crucially for United, Schalke went down, giving it away again. Anthony almost pulled out the challenge, but Ugarte was there to mop up. Done that too often over the course of the 83 minutes, just played their way into trouble. Here's Garnacho. Guess we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he wasn't fully in tune with the game. I mean, just come off the bench. Little step over the ball from Fernandes. Finds Ugarte. And now Anthony, flanked by two Pilsen defenders. 1-1 the score with 7 minutes remaining. Still anybody's game. Feels like a big 7 minutes in terms of United getting into that top 8 and avoiding a potential two-legged playoffs early in the new year. They don't want more games. Bruno Fernandes with the ball into the area, looking for Anthony. It's clear. One back by Mazraoui. I think he's had a good game actually, Nusayr Mazraoui once again.
Yeah, he has been a good signing, hasn't he, for United?
Mason Mount lays it off into midfield for Martinez. Forward to Rasmus Højlund, trying to outmuscle the defender. He got bullied himself. That was well played by Markovic, who clears upfield but concedes a throw.
It was the right idea. It's almost as if he was half a yard short there, Højlund, and in the end Markovic was able to show his strength because he was goal side.
Well played, Lisandro Martinez coming forward down the left. Into Højlund again. Holds off Markovic this time. He's going to need to find a white-shirted teammate. Plays it into Garnacho. Garnacho left corner of the area. Gets it back from Martinez. He's in behind here. Crosses towards the far post. Headed away by the captain, Kalvac. Back to Garnacho again, though. Fizzes the ball into the feet of Bruno Fernandes. 6 minutes for United to find a winner. Martinez backheels it, looking at Garnacho. It'll be picked up by Jedlicka and it will stay 1-1.
Well, your centre-half playing like a number 10 there. He's actually a little bit unlucky with the skill they've done if that had come off. Garnacho would have been in. But you're right, it is a really important 6 minutes plus injury time. Again, if you look at the table, you look how the results could go come the end of the night, it might be the need to win both their last games, which is not an easy thing to do.
Well, we welcome listeners from TalkSport once again. 5 minutes to play here. 1-1 the score, given away by Martinez on the edge of his own area. Selector's going to have to get there ahead of Adu, and Anana, who's gifted Mate Vidra one goal already, clears upfield. Vidra's close range effort after Anana's mistake cancelled out by Rasmus Højlund, fresh off the bench, and here come Manchester United looking for a winner. Bruno Fernandes out to Højlund. Højlund on the edge of the penalty area. Forward to Mason Mount with a shot. Good save by Jedlicka. Wasn't the most powerful effort, but it was an awkward one. And the goalkeeper does well.
Brilliant bit of football from Manchester United, it really was. And Mason Mount, how good has he looked since he's come on? Been really dangerous as going in behind. The ball was played for him. It's a really good save, diving down to his right. But what did we see just before? We saw Anana not messing around with it, just getting it a little bit long. They won then the knockdowns and were able to counter-attack. Why didn't he do that earlier? Such a poor pass, giving it away, putting his team under pressure in difficult conditions. Difficult, bobbly pitch as well. They've had to come back from 1-0 down. Can they find a winner?
A dramatic conclusion to this game in store. Still 4 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. It's Viktoria Plzeň 1, Manchester United 1. Sochka is on for the goal scorer, Mate Vidra, for the home side. As Fernandes burst into the penalty area, tried to cut it back for Højlund. He did well actually. Fernandes to keep the ball in play and almost pick out a teammate. He's turned behind for the latest Manchester United corner. They're certainly dominating on that front. United, 5 corners. Pilsen yet to have any. Needs a good delivery here to turn 1 point into 3 with 3 minutes to play. It would change the whole tone of the evening heading to the Etihad on Sunday, the Sunday session live from the Manchester Derby on TalkSport this Sunday afternoon. Here comes Fernandes with the corner. High one towards the far post. Anthony jumped under the ball. Nodded away by Schalke. And foul is given against Adu as he looked to counter it. I think United got a bit lucky there. Is it a handball?
Yeah, I think that's what he said. Is he trying to chest it, come off his hand? He's complaining it wasn't. Chest to arm.
Yeah. Bit unlucky. The Pilsen substitute. 1-1 with 2 minutes to play. Bruno Fernandes stands over the dead ball. Too far out from a shot. He's just going to try and chip this into a dangerous area between the goalkeeper and the penalty spot. I would imagine. In fact, he goes short along the ground into Rasmus Højlund. and it's a brilliant finish, left-footed, and Manchester United may just have stolen a priceless European victory, and it's Rasmus Højlund at the double with 2 minutes to go. It's Viktoria Plzeň 1, Manchester United 2. That was really clever.
And the cleverness came from Bruno. We were wondering whether he didn't kick towards the far post. No. Clearly they've had a look at each other. And Højlund said, pass it into me. And I'm telling you, if the ball's played into him in the right way, he's got the strength to turn. And he's passed it into him. The first touch, he's bobbled up a bit, but he's able still to turn his body, and it's on his left foot. Again, he's gone across the goalkeeper. Wow, what a substitution that's been. Well done, Bruno, in the first place, but well done, Rasmus Højlund, as well.
It's the 5th European goal of the season. He's into double figures now for Manchester United in continental competition, and all of a sudden the top 8 is back on the horizon. They've had to come from behind in this second half, but you have to say, after conceding, Ruben Amorim took decisive action off the bench, and those changes have changed the course of the game.
Yeah, well, he had to make changes. It wasn't good enough, certainly not going forward.
They've got to defend this lead now, Manchester United, as Ahmad chips it forward. 1 minute plus stoppage time to go in Pilsen. 2-1, the Red Devils lead.
Cookie, he is learning all the time about his players. He would have learned a lot negatively in the first half. He would have learned a lot about certain individuals coming off the bench positively. And Rasmus Højlund quite clearly has to play at the weekend.
Sloppy from Fernandes on the edge of his own area. Pilsen with the free kick after the nicked in and cleared the ball away. This is a test of their professionalism and their mentality as much as their footballing ability. Manchester United, it's a test they've failed on too many occasions, I would venture, in recent seasons. Can they see out this victory to put them back on course for a place in the last 16 in the Europa League? It's going to be interesting to see how many added minutes there will be at the end of the 90. We've only got a few seconds of normal time to play on TalkSport 2. And it's been all Pilsen since they conceded that second goal. Here's Lucas serve, rolls it down the line, back to Lucas serve, might get a chance here, really well defended by De Ligt, slides in, beats his chest to concede the corner.
Look at tighter. Martinez has allowed him to come into the box, and he's cut the ball back. And then De Ligt just has to leave his man and try to stop the cross coming in. 5 minutes of injury time, can they hold out?
A big 5 minutes in Manchester United's season this. Corner from the right-hand side, and Onana stays on his line. It's cleared, and they could counter here. It's 3 white shirts on 1. Anthony leads the charge. Mason Mount to his left. He's got Garnacho rather. Ahmad up into port. Anthony into the penalty area, steers the ball towards the corner. It's cleared. And a chance to wrap up the game goes begging. That should have been it, Scott.
Yes, but, I mean, Anthony did everything right. It's a decent save in the end.
Well, here comes Pilsen the other end. Surely he's offside where... And I wonder if he should have just left the ball, because he's given away a free kick and United will take as long as they can to take it. 2-1 to Ruben Amorim's men.
Yeah, he was well offside, wasn't he? Absolutely should have left the ball. But counter-attack 3-1 at one point. They managed to get the shot. A decent enough save, but you can see as they made the save, United players saying, right now, get back.
A yellow card for Mazraoui, I think, for delaying the restart. Over the course of the 90 minutes, as much as obviously Højlund's going to get man of the match, I think Mazraoui is up there in terms of their best player.
I think he's been very solid. I don't think he's had a lot to do, but everything he's done well. I think Bruno has been right up there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Onana with the ball forward. 3 minutes to go. Viktoria Plzeň 1, Manchester United 2 in the Europa League. Garte's got the ball in the face, I think, and he's gone down. The referee hasn't stopped it. I don't think he's seen it. Here comes Adu at the other end.
Kick it out.
And Bruno Fernandes has played it back to his goalkeeper. That should come with a health warning. Onana this time gets good purchase on the clearance upfield. And it's Højlund who chests it down on the halfway line. Garnacho trying to get there for United. Ball chipped forward. And it's Martinez who just nods it back to Onana. They've got 3 minutes to see this out, Manchester United.
I was worried for Agati there. He's staggering around.
They certainly took one full in the face. You're listening to Viktoria Plzeň against Manchester United in the Europa League, live on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes. If you've got a plan, we've got a van. Well, it's not all gone according to plan for Ruben Amorim tonight. They've had to do it the hard way. But Manchester United 2 minutes away from a priceless European victory on the road. Still defending to do. I think Pilsen have played really well since going 2-1 down. Here's Adu away from Bruno Fernandes. Powerfully done. Mazraoui intercepts, and they could counter again here. Fernandes, can he find Ahmad? Yes, he can. Ahmad has forced slightly wide by the pass, but he's into the penalty area. He's trying to get the ball on his left foot. Ahmad is just running into trouble, and Pilsen will clear it. It was another opportunity to maybe wrap up the game.
Yeah, but it was good defending. It wasn't just 1, 2, 3 defenders. So as he's trying to come inside and open up the goal on his left foot, he's just going into traffic.
It has been a really good second half after an instantly forgettable first 45 minutes. Pilsen have more than played their part in that, and they're still looking for an equaliser. The ball in the Manchester United penalty area. Shot blocked by Mazraoui. Bruno Fernandes has just got to look after the ball here. He does that, rolls it forward to Højlund. They've got 80 seconds to see it out now, Manchester United. Højlund's got Ahmad to his right, Garnacho to his left, and he runs into the centre-back. Markovic, brainless from the guy who's scored 2 goals.
He speaks highly of you.
It's just game management, Scott.
Yeah, a simple pass, wasn't it? It was 3-on-2, and it could have created either another chance on goal or a chance just to go towards the corner and run the clock down.
Well, they're going to get one last chance here, Pilsen, because Havel has won a throw-in, level with the penalty area. This is just going to be hoisted into the 18-yard box. With 40 seconds of the 5 added minutes to play. Manchester United leading 2-1 on TalkSport 2. Is that error from Rasmus Højlund going to prove costly? Long throw into the area by Duer. Good header by Martinez. Garnacho has it. Again, he's probably tried to do more than he needed to there, but he has at least, well, I was going to say he's won his team a throw, but the assistant referee on this near side has given it the other way. This will be the last chance now, literally seconds to go. Another long throw in that Samson Duet is lining up from the right hand side for Viktoria Plzeň. Their unbeaten home record this season is on the line here, and a chance for Suarez to shoot left footed high over the crossbar, and that is the last action of a pulsating second half. Manchester United and Ruben Amorim back to winning ways in the Europa League, but they've had to do it the hard way after another mistake from Andre Onana gifted Mate Vidra the opening goal early in the second half. Amorim took decisive action off the bench, and Rasmus Højlund scored twice after coming on in the final half an hour to turn a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 victory. And Manchester United back on course to finish in the top 8 in the Europa League and go straight through to the round of 16. Scott Minto.
Well, I didn't see it coming at 1-0 down, did you? Tell you what, that mistake from Onana. I'm not quite sure what Ruben Amorim's going to do with that. It's a big decision for him at the weekend. It's another mistake that he's made. But credit to Amorim for making the substitutions. I mean, he kind of had to. It's his job. Clearly it was going very wrong. We talked about options on the bench, but Rasmus Højlund coming off the bench. I thought Mason Mount was very, very good. You know, Anthony was decent and positive, so too Garnacho, but Mason Mount, but especially Højlund, were just superb, and that's what you want from your bench. Go on there and make a difference. Bruno Fernandes, he started, and he was always someone wanted to try and make things happen. And it was a really clever free kick where many were thinking, including most of the Pilsen defence, he's going to chip it to the far post. No, he played it into Højlund. Great touch and turn, great finish. And that's a massive win, Cookie.
Yeah, Rasmus Højlund, the hero for Manchester United, up to 5th in the table as it stands, and Ruben Amorim rescued from suffering 3 successive defeats for the first time in his managerial career in the frozen Czech Republic. Manchester United certainly warmed up by the end. It finished Viktoria Plzeň 1, Manchester United 2.